Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, June 27th edition of the MMAOB Daily Show. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. Going to be taking you guys through the latest in the world of mixed martial arts. First and foremost, guys, follow me on Twitter if you haven't already at MMAdamMartin. This podcast is available at MMAOddsBreaker.com. Also, YouTube.com/MMAOddsBreaker. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's on SoundCloud as well. Also, check me out at bjpenn.com, sherdog.com, MMAnews.com, and MMARigs.net. So, a few things to talk about today, guys. Not a crazy show. By the way, check out yesterday if you missed. Myself and Cole Sheldon did the full UFC Minneapolis breakdown, so check that out. The card is this Saturday. I'll be doing the play-by-play for Sherdog, so if you want to see my picks, check that out. Let's just get right into it for today. So I have a couple fight announcements and a couple pieces of news here. The most important thing, I just got to get out of the way quickly here. Not quickly, but first, I should say. Desmond Green, UFC lightweight, was arrested and jailed yesterday on 20 charges, including DUI manslaughter charges. I have the full article here. This is from Stephen Morocco from MMA Junkie. So Desmond Green remained in custody as of yesterday afternoon in Broward County in Florida on bonds totaling $194,000. A warrant's been out for his arrest since last week. The charges against Desmond Green include 2 second-degree felony counts of DUI manslaughter, 4 third-degree felony counts of DUI causing serious bodily harm, third-degree felony possession of cocaine, 5 misdemeanor counts of DUI property damage, and third-degree felony driving with a suspended license. This is all stemming from that incident last summer where Desmond Green was involved in a multi-car collision that unfortunately, very sadly, killed 2 elderly women. Just terrible news. I remember when it happened at the time, I was just in shock. Like, I remember seeing the news footage of Green sitting on the side of the highway, looking very distraught. Now it's come out where allegedly he was drunk and high at the time of this accident that led to the deaths of 2 people. So very depressing news, very disgusting news to read this. He's also on a suspended license. He's had multiple driving infractions in the past, including being pulled over apparently for mushrooms and with a suspended license a couple of different times. So this guy's had multiple driving convictions, and unfortunately 2 people died. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We've seen a lot of celebrities, athletes get off on these kind of things in the past. So I don't really know what's going to happen. We'll let the legal system play it out, but from everything we're seeing, this is just absolutely horrible and just disgusting. I mean, I'm just disgusted with Desmond Green right now. If I'm the UFC, I'm cutting this guy right now. I don't understand why they haven't cut him yet, to be honest with you. This is a terrible look for the UFC. He's fought 3 times since this accident. I understand the legal system had to play out. Now it has played out. Now he's been arrested and jailed. They have enough evidence. They have witnesses saying that he threw a weed grinder over the highway into the water or something like that. Like, listen, like I have no problem with marijuana in general, but when you're behind the wheel, you really shouldn't be using that. And also, he was drunk, and also he had a bag of cocaine in his front seat. So this guy was. I don't know what's going on with him, man. He clearly has some issues. It's sad because I'm pretty sure he has a couple of young children at home. So very, very sad stuff. I don't feel bad for Desmond Green, though. I mean, this guy's he's had numerous run-ins with officers due to driving infractions. So he was playing with fire. He got caught. I don't understand why the UFC hasn't released a statement yet. I mean, every news outlet has this now. This is big news. It's sad news. It's terrible news. Again, I have no idea how this is going to play out. If I had to guess, based on what we're seeing, I mean, it seems like the police and the officers here and the law in Florida says they have this guy, man. So he's in serious trouble. And I mean, based on everything we're seeing, you'd have to expect that he'd be in jail for a little while. So UFC, they should have cut him a long time ago. They had to wait to see how the legal system played out. I get that. They've cut fighters for a lot less in the past, which is kind of strange, or at least suspended them. He got to fight 3 times. He got to make some money. I think at this point, though, they have to wash their hands of this guy. So I don't know why the UFC is taking so long to release a statement. A little confusing, but for myself personally, just very devastated for the victims and their families. Just sad stuff. I mean, the 2 women were about 70 years old. That's a horrible way to lose your life due to someone that was driving drunk and causing a chain reaction. Just terrible news. We'll see what happens. He's going to go through the court system. His lawyer's saying that it wasn't his fault, but that's what they're paid to do. they're paid to defend their client. I get it. But for everything we're seeing, just a horrible incident. And, if I'm the UFC, this guy's never fighting for my promotion again. I just had to get it the other way. And again, my condolences to the victims of this crime. I mean, I just hate to see drunken driving accidents. They really make me sad because people make a choice to drive drunk, and Desmond Green made a very, very bad choice, and just fairly sad stuff. So my condolences to the victims. All right, so let's just get into some other news here. Brendan Loughnane from the Contender Series. So Dana White, and I've talked about this a couple of times now, I just think he's super stubborn, and he doesn't want to admit that he made a mistake by not signing this guy. Apparently, Brendan Loughnane has a bunch of offers right now from KSW, PFL, Bellator, One. Someone's going to sign this guy. I don't know why the UFC is passing on him. He's a good fighter. He had a good fight. He was pissing blood after. He broke his nose. And the guy did everything he had to do, except he went for a takedown, and Dana White's using that against him. Just sad. Dana White just likes boxing, apparently. I mean, come on. He knows MMA. He knows wrestling's part of it. It's just weird, right? Like, he signed that guy, Puna Haley, who's using his wrestling, but Brendan Loughnane doesn't get a contract. Very, very strange stuff going on there. Anyways, I hope that one of these promotions does sign him and gives him a good contract. I do think Bellator makes the most sense because they do all those England shows. So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, the UFC made a mistake passing on this guy. He's a great fighter. Next up, Rory MacDonald has been given a 30-day extension in the Bellator tournament. So he's fought twice in the last 3 months. He needs this extension. I think the fight was supposed to happen in September. Now it's going to happen in October, apparently, with Douglas Lima, the rematch. And I think he needs that extra time off. I mean, again, the Neiman-Gracie fight went the full 5 rounds. The fight with John Fitch went the full 5 rounds. 50 minutes of in-cage action in the last 2 months since April. That's a lot of fighting. So he needs the time off. Bellator definitely, helped him out here, but deservedly so. He's their champion. 30 extra days is not a big deal. I'm just glad this tournament, from what we've seen, is going to be over by the end of the year. I mean, if Rory can't make that last date, they'll have to find a replacement, but I think he'll end up fighting, and he has a good chance to win $1 million. I mean, I'm probably going to pick Douglas Lima. I know that he's lost to him before, but just based on what we've seen lately, Douglas Lima looks like an absolute destroyer again right now. So I'd probably lean towards Lehman at rematch, but definitely an interesting fight. And I'm glad to see that Rory gets a little bit of extra time to prepare for that one. A couple of fight announcements to get to here. UFC 240 added an absolute banger. I love this fight. Geoff Neal is taking on Niko Price. Amazing fight here. Geoff Neal, absolute monster. I love this guy. 11-2 record, 28 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He's on a 5-fight win streak right now. He's 3-0 in the UFC with finishes over Brian Camozzi and Frank Camacco and a decision win over Bilal Muhammad. The guy's an absolute monster. He's a stud. Love this guy. That division's so stacked right now that you have to do fights like this against a guy like Niko Price, who's also a stud. I love watching Niko Price fight too. Only 29 years old. He's 13-2 and 1 no contest. He is 5-2 and 1 no contest in the UFC. If that 1 no contest wasn't overturned due to marijuana, he would be 6-2 in the UFC. So, guy's a beast. Love watching him fight. Got to favor Geoff Neal in this fight, though. We have seen Niko Price get knocked out in the UFC before, and Geoff Neal has a ton of power. So I'd favor Geoff Neal, but Niko Price is a stud too, man. This is gonna be a great fight. Love the matchmaking here. I know some people are saying that you're killing off a prospect in a way, but in my opinion, it's just that division is so stacked. You have to do fights like this. So I have no problem with the matchmaking here. I love it. Great fight. Next up, another interesting fight here in the welterweight division. Gunnar Nelson takes on Thiago Alves. Talked about this a little bit yesterday with Cole Shelton, but I wanted to give some more thoughts on it. So Gunnar Nelson, he is 30 years old, 17-4-1 record, including a 8-4 record in the UFC. So, he's been a little inconsistent at times in the UFC, coming off a split decision loss to Leon Edwards. But before that, hit an absolute beatdown over Alex Oliveira in Toronto. An amazing performance by him. Overall, just a really good fighter. He has some good wins in his career. Great ground game, as we know. Decent striking as well. Maybe hasn't translated as well to MMA as we all thought with the karate, but he's still a good fighter. Taking on Thiago Alves here, a longtime veteran in the sport, 35 years old now. Thiago Alves, 23-14, including a what's his record? 16-11 record in the UFC. So he's fought a long time in the octagon, a lot of experience, but he's on a kind of a losing skid right now. He did beat Max Griffin by a controversial decision earlier this year, probably one of the worst decisions of the year. If he had lost that fight, he'd be on a 4-fight losing skid. But having said that, he did win, so he's technically 1-3 in his last 4. I have to go with Gunnar Nelson in this fight. I just don't really believe in Thiago Alves anymore. I mean, the guy's definitely a good striker. He's got good kicks. We all know that. But the last fight was Star Paulo in Brazil, which I was at, which kind of showed that he's on the decline, if we haven't seen that already. So I love Thiago Alves, but I just don't see this fight going very well for him. And then another fight's been added to UFC Uruguay as Humberto Bandenay takes on Luiz Eduardo Garagorri. Let's take a look at Humberto Bandenay. I like this guy. 14-6-1, no contest record. Only 24 years old. He's 1-2 in the UFC. He had that insane knockout win over Martin Bravo, which was a big upset. And then he's since lost to Austin Arnett and Gabriel Benitez. But I still think the guy's a pretty good prospect. Again, only 24 years old, from Peru. He'll be fighting in Uruguay, so very close to his hometown. Taking on Luiz Eduardo Garagorri, who is 11-0. He's from Uruguay. My buddy Lucas, that's it. That's the same manager Johnny Walker, the guy I had dinner with in Brazil a couple months ago. That's another client of his, the first Uruguayan fighter in the UFC. So this guy is definitely an interesting prospect. He is 30 years old, so he's a little bit older, but he's only been fighting since 2015. Most of his most of his fights have come by finish. So he's undefeated, 11-0. I mean, even though Humberto Bandenay is a younger guy, he has some experience in the UFC. This guy, Garagorri, you have to imagine the UFC is giving him a favorable matchup in his hometown, in his home country, and I have to favor this guy. Just he looks like a beast from what I've seen. So, and he's got good management too. The manager, he knows what he's doing. So, definitely an interesting matchup. And that card, that's the card headlined by Valentina Shevchenko and Liz Carmouche. So that card's looking decent so far. And that's about it. That's about it, guys. There's not too much to talk about today other than that. Again, wanted to get that Desmond Green news out of the way. Just sad stuff again. And, just we'll find out some more to the story, but the UFC has to make a statement today. I mean, come on, And I'm going to bring this up too. I forgot to mention this earlier. The BJ Penn thing. I do work for bjpenn.com. I'm not sure if we covered it. It's kind of something that I don't think anyone wanted to talk about there, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, he kind of does, on the website that pays us all, so I get it. But all the other websites are talking about it. I just want to mention it quickly. Allegedly, he was drunk and allegedly, got into a scuffle with the bouncer. There's a video out there. I'm sure you guys have seen it already. I had to bring this up. Sad stuff. BJ's obviously going through some hard times in his own personal life right now. Fortunately, no one died in this incident or was seriously injured or anything like that. But clearly, BJ has some stuff going on, and I really hope he does get the help he needs because he's got some stuff going on in his personal life right now, and it's sad to see because I love BJ, legend of the sport. Again, he's my employer now, so love the guy. Met him in Brazil, it was awesome, great guy. He's on a bad losing streak right now. He's got to pick it up in the octagon. If he fights again, he might fight again. I don't know. But as far as like outside the octagon, definitely has some stuff he's got to get taken care of. And I really hope all the best to BJ, and I hope he can figure out what's going on in his personal life. And that's it for today, guys. So follow me on Twitter at MMAOB. Podcast available at MMAOddsbreaker.com and in our YouTube channel. I have my opening odds reactions out for UFC Minneapolis, and also I'll have a main event breakdown in Nagano versus JDS over at MMAOddsbreaker.com. At SureDog.com, I just sent my prime picks in. They will be posted today, so check that out as well. I will be doing the play-by-play on Saturday for that card. MMAnews.com just posted an article on 5 fighters to watch out for at UFC Minneapolis. Check that out. MMA Rings.net, I'll send something in today on that card as well. And bjpenn.com, always checking out the news there. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully some less depressing news to talk about tomorrow. But until then, have a great day, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Talk about the latest news in the world of MMA.